Hey everyone, D-Dub Squizzy here, and welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization 3. So, this is an old game. For anyone who is familiar with it, I mean, you know if you've played it and you enjoy these kinds of games, then you know it's a masterpiece in these sorts of games. I know a lot of people like Civ 6, some people like Civ 5, and other people like the other versions of Civilization, but I've played many of them. And this is the only one that I ever keep coming back to, and I'm excited. I've been looking forward for a while to actually doing this playthrough. I'm hoping, because of its age and the way that it works, my recording software has trouble picking it up, so I have to use just the screen record mode, and anyone who watched my Icewind Dale 2 Enhanced Edition playthrough knows my screen record mode has had its issues. So I'm hoping we don't have anything like that this playthrough, but just so everyone's aware, that's a possibility. Now, I've played this game many times, and I'm just going to be playing a regular world. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to max out the barbarians, largest world possible. I kind of want to even out everything. This determines how mountainous and hilly it is. 3 billion is the most mountains and hills, 5 billion is the least, but 4 is like right in the middle. I mean, and these have to do with, I think that's jungle versus tundra, and I'm assuming forest and wetlands versus desert. I'm not sure exactly how this might be forests versus tundra, and then this is jungle versus desert, but I prefer to even it out so we get a good sort of disparagement. Now, as far as this goes, the type of land, I think I want to go with the largest, probably second largest right there. Yeah. So, or not largest, really, just percentage of land to water. I want a lot of land, so there's room for me and the other civilizations to spread out. But I also want there to be distance between the continents. At least some distance. So we'll go with 70% water. Okay, now I plan to play the Hittites, for no reason other than they came to mind and I haven't played them before. If anyone's familiar with this game, then you know most of the original civilizations, Rome, Egypt, Babylon to an extent, but Russia, America, let's see, the Chinese, wherever they are, China, Japan, Germany. There's a lot of very powerful nations, and of course, Carthage for this version. I am curious. You get a 3-man chariot instead of the regular chariot, which is 2-2. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. Yeah, it's like a pre-horseman. Alright, and I'm going to randomize everyone, so we're going to have max amount of civilizations. As far as my rules go, you have the domination, space race, cultural, wonder, conquest, and diplomatic victories. Now, domination's about population, space race is building the Apollo program first, diplomatic is build the United Nations and talk everyone to peace, conquest is defeat everyone militarily, cultural, I think, is just have the most culture by the end limit, and I'm not sure about wonder, what the actual victory condition is, but basically you need the most wonders. The only one of these, no, honestly, none of them. The only one that I would tolerate being the, actual real victory is conquest victory, because it's military, and that's the real reason we play this. I'm not here to talk everyone into peace. That just sounds boring, unpleasant, and frankly unrealistic, as does conquering the world. No one's going to do it, but that's the fun part. Culturally linked start locations, that one makes it interesting. Puts you in a place that's kind of near where your culture should be. Respawn AI players is really for the early game. If you wipe out an AI right out the bat, it'll respawn somewhere else on the planet, but it'll have to be like an unexplored location. And so later on in the game, when people have charted and mapped and settled on pretty much every corner of the globe, that no longer comes into play. I don't like that. If you get wiped out early, you get wiped out early. Preserve random seed basically means if there's a reload that happens, then all the preset rules, because every calculation is made at the beginning of a turn, I believe, on every single possible encounter between every unit and everything on the map. So if 2 units engage, there's a random chance on who wins. You know, it's got statistics and everything. Preserve random seed makes it so that if you lose that fight and you reload and try it again, the exact same outcome will occur. I don't want that, because if I have to reload from an earlier save because the game gets all screwed up, I would prefer there to be some randomness if I have to re-record an episode. That way it continues to be fun. Accelerated production I'm keeping on, because the game takes so long without it. This accelerates everyone's production, AI and me. And basically it just means your technologies and your cities produce faster. I much prefer this. I've tried playing without it, and building a single, like, minor city improvement will take half a game, and it's just not fun. It gets boring. Elimination makes it so when you take one city, a person's entire civilization's wiped out. I don't know why anyone would enable that. It's terrible. Regicide is kill a king unit and their civilization's wiped out. Not a fan. Mass regicide is regicide, but there's a bunch of kings units. Victory point scoring has to do with amassing victory points, so whoever has the most at the end wins. I don't like that one. Capture the princess is some sort of capture the flag type deal. You capture her and run her back home. Cultural conversions. I don't know why reverse capture the flag is there. I don't know what that's about. It's weird. Cultural conversions are essentially your cities can convert other people's cities based on your culture. I like that one. And allow scientific leaders. Sometimes you can just get a scientific super genius that can, kind of spur your country's scientific growth. I don't see a reason to ever disable that. Okay, aggression, we want most aggressive, because that's where the fun is, as far as difficulty goes. So, I'm keeping it on Chieftain, and the reason for this is simple. The AI is not very smart. Even on Chieftain, they'll produce quite a bit, like more than you would expect. But they're not very smart about how they do things. They'll still keep up with you, though. They prioritize building military units, wonders, and spreading cities, and building roads. Those alone can make them pretty formidable if you're not careful. If you don't have the military to counteract one of them, they'll take you out, and if they're almost aggressive, they can hit you when you're not expecting it. So, even on Chieftain, it doesn't change how smart they are when you put it up, it just jacks them up in ridiculous ways. If I put it on Warlord, it would basically start them with 6 technologies ahead of me, they're getting technologies twice as fast, their cities are producing 3 or 4 times as fast, and they start the game with a handful of units, instead of the, 2 or 3 that you should start with. That is just not fun, because the enemies have just been juiced, but they're still as stupid as ever. They just have the capability to overwhelm you, and I don't like that. So, Chieftain it is, because everything else isn't fun. With that said, let's get started. Okay. I'm going to take my first turn to move closer to the seashore. Ooh. Get you on one of these so that we can... Alright, this is my scout. Since I'm expansionist, I start with a scout. He's just out to explore. Let's build on the river, or the water. I actually don't know what this body is. Okay, we're just going to need some very basic defense. I'm going to get a barracks here pretty quick. That works. Yeah, I have another guy who's here to explore now. Right, I should have gotten my text first. Ceremonial burial, because we need temples. That's where all of our early game culture is going to be, and we need that to expand. Alright, so for anyone who's unfamiliar with this game, essentially you just try to build a civilization that'll, stand the test of time and put all others to shame. That's it in its most basic form. So we start off with a settler. This scout here cannot fight, neither can this worker. The worker exists to improve cities, so I've just built a road here. And grasslands, which normally produce 2 food, so you can support 2 citizens in your city. It's not really 2 citizens, the number represents more than 1 person. It's a pile of people, but essentially you can support 2 with 2 food. The road gives you 1 commerce, and this little white thingy here, that's a shield, which is what we use to produce. That's what these little blue things are. And as you can see over underneath the barracks, you need a certain number of them to finish something. Every turn you get however many are over here. And every new worker lets you work more and more spaces. Wow. Bronze working, that's huge. That gives us spearmen right off the bat. Oh no, are we on a shrimpy little island? If that's the case, we are, aren't we? I normally like tiny little islands. This might be bad though. Oh no. Okay. Right, well we can expand a little bit. Okay. We have land that's within sight, so all we need to do is get the capability to sail across water. This is going to greatly complicate wonder production in the future. Spearman, settler. Okay, I want a second city before I start going for any wonders. Wonders can do some amazing things, but they take forever to produce. Early game, it can be pretty tricky on whether you want to actually go for wonders or not. Okay, we need to head for map making directly, because I'm going to need galleys as fast as possible. I should probably give an overview of our technologies. So we started off, since we're expansionists, well, oh right, we got bronze working from the village. They taught us how to make bronze, which gives us the Colossus, a wonder that puts extra commerce in every water square you work. And then it also gave us spearmen, which are defensive units. Alphabet is one we started with. We have Kurags, which are very weak, slow ships, but they're ships nonetheless. And Pottery, which lets us build granaries so that we can support more people in a city. Ceremonial Burial gives us a temple. This produces culture, which makes our borders grow and helps us basically keep people happy. Writing it lets you build embassies in other nations. Not a huge deal for the most part, especially early on, but it opens the door to map making, which lets us get galleys, which can carry people. That's how we're going to have to cross the water. The settler that I've just built, his entire purpose, let's get a granary in here so I can grow faster. Okay, these two are going to head right up here. They're going to settle a city on the coast. The settler, I always move a settler with defensive units. You never know what'll pop out and try to kill him. The barbarians are on raging, which means there's going to be a lot of them. Okay. And you want to have roads that connect up your cities. That way, whatever happens... Oh, I'm already losing money. Okay, that's better. So build a temple. This place's borders expanded because it has a palace that you start with. That's the seat of your entire civilization. That produces culture at the beginning. Nothing else does in a new city. So you have to build a temple or it will stay this tiny forever. Okay, this is unfortunate for our scout. He now has nothing left to explore. Neither does our barbarian or our warrior. And yeah, this could get pretty hectic pretty fast. Without access to boats that can transport across water, we're in some real trouble. Okay, let's go for the Colossus right now. Our cities will just keep producing turn after turn. I get the Colossus early. That can boost our economy, keep us alive through difficult times. Other players are going to be focused mainly on expansion right now, just getting as big as possible, as fast as possible. It's not a bad move. You definitely want land. But if your city is... Right, so what a barracks does, it lets you fully heal your people. Any military units who are wounded and rest in a city with a barracks for 1 round gain all their health back, which is huge. They gain 1 a turn when they're rested on a non-barracked city. It also gives you units that are veteran. So like this spearman here, you see he has 4 hit points versus the warrior we produced without 1 only has 3. And the one we got from the village only has 2, because he's the lowest level. A level you usually only get from drafting. Okay, 9 turns. Hopefully we can get the Colossus before someone else. The thing about wonders is, once another nation gets one, that's it. It's done. Someone has it. You don't get another chance. So you want to get them as fast as possible. There we go. Ooh, and we entered a golden age. That's awesome. Let's get a temple real quick, and then we need to start pumping out a couple more settlers. 18 turns we can get map making. Okay, this can work. Happiest nations, forgotten Hittite. Yeah, ignore the histories of the world. They're useless. They come out right at the start of the game. They mean nothing. Okay, spearman a turn. That's quite a bit. Settler in 2. Actually, okay, so you build another worker. That way we can continue producing. You, what was I about to do with you? Right, build another spearman. That way you have 1 in your capital. Okay, as far as you go, down here, that gets us access to the deer and the whales. The whales are about the best bonus resource that's available, but you gotta be in the right spot to get them. They're always 2 squares away from the coast, at least. So, if you're not close enough, then you just don't get those things. The other one's probably gonna go over here, I might imagine. Well, I do like this gold. 4 more gold could be handy. I might put 1 guy there, another one down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to put 1 here. He can benefit from some grassland that way. So I'm going to build a road there. Early civilization is always the most fun, because this is when you're in your expansion phase. But it can get pretty hectic and terrifying very fast. Oh, I did already get some. Man, these guys produce really fast. Alright. The roads also let us move 3 spaces. Instead of normally when you walk, unless you are a fast unit, you only have 1 movement. The roads add 3 extra spaces, or basically turn every movement that you have into 3 spaces. So if you have 2 movement, you have 6 on a road. Now that's pretty much what they do. Pretty much, that's exactly what they do. They add commerce, they connect cities up so you can share resources, culture. Your palace reduces corruption and pollution and stuff like that in other cities. All sorts of good stuff. Okay, build a road over here because I can put a city on that hill. I can't put cities on mountains, so we are limited to an extent, but it's not too bad. Here we go. I'm going to have to put a road through this forest, so that's going to take twice as long as normal, but we'll get it done. Alright, in our golden age, we can just pump people out. I'm going to want one down here. He can also get access to those whales, and I can just continue the road down the coast. And then I can just start producing settlers and having them on standby for when I get my boats. I'm going to have to build a fleet. There are barbarians that sail around water, too. I haven't had to deal with any barbarians, because they normally only spawn out in the middle of darkness, and they will keep spawning until all of the world is covered. They have boats that sail around and drop people off for the purpose of spawning. Okay, I think we could fit 2 more cities on this place before we've hit pretty much critical mass. Maybe not even that. Yeah, no. You go down here. He's going there. I could put one here. I'm gonna do it. Why not? They'll be a little crowded. It's not gonna hurt us too badly. In the middle of the tundra, you don't have a lot of great options anyway, but it's better to control this land than leave it up for grabs. Alright, this is a big deal. Get masonry immediately. We need it to build walls, aqueducts, not even aqueducts. We just need it to build walls, and we can build the pyramids with it. And that opens up other pathways, but the initial techs you really need. Normally, I save map making for way later in the game, but we're on a timetable. Okay, actually, oh right, you can build that. Okay, build a harbor first. This way I can connect other places with me here. You just keep building settlers for the time being. Harbors are great. They basically act like a barracks for sea units, except they add 1 food for every water that you work, and they connect, if you have 2 cities with harbors and a clear line of sight between them that you can sail through safely, it connects them so you can trade resources and luxuries and stuff, which you really want. Okay, we got another one here. I might put one in the middle of all of these, possibly. I haven't made a decision yet. If I do, I'll do it later. Alright, Golden Age is over, so we're back to regular time. Great Lighthouse extends our reach of ships. They'll be safe in the sea here instead of just the coasts. And it will also add 1 movement extra onto all of our boats. We're expansionist, if I remember right. Cultural, well this doesn't help. Actually, okay, Civilopedia and Tribes. Hittites. Hittites. Yeah, expansionist, not seafaring. A seafaring nation already gets 1 extra movement on all of their ships. Okay. Both of you get over there in preparation for the galley. Okay, get iron working. Oh no, actually get... Warrior Code gives us archers. We'll have to get it eventually, but I can leave that one for a while. Galley... Oh, okay, the pyramids are really, really nice. But they won't be here. Let me see. Every square that already produces at least 1. Okay, so that works across everything. Great Lighthouse works across everything. Many Wonders do. The pyramids put a granary in every city on the same continent. But since this place is so tiny, that won't really help us. Wait for the other people to move. So what I'm going to want to do... it doesn't matter. I get the pyramids almost every playthrough. This time, though, It's not going to work, I don't think. I can try, but I'm going to have to build some other improvements the second we get on dry land. There we go. Actually, let's see what we got here. Okay, I can see another nation right there. Ooh, this might not be good at all. If they can lock this place down, we won't be able to get far. Meier, okay. Everyone prep yourselves, you're about to hear something horrible. Or you heard nothing at all. The sound bites that normally played during these meetings are corrupted on the Steam version of the game, which is what I'm playing, and on my own actual copy of the game. And so, we can't really hear what these people say. If there's ever any loud, janky noises, which there is at least half the time, I'll just edit those out so no one has to deal with them. Yeah, otherwise it's silent during the negotiations. I don't know why they're annoyed. They're not annoyed at me, just in general, they aren't aggressive. So they already have furs, which is a luxury. They have several technologies more than me, but they haven't even started down the alphabet writing. They haven't even started down the advanced stuff yet. They've just gotten most of the baseline, and I can do that pretty quick. I'm going to seal off this island so they can't get it. This way I now hold the only way in. Okay, you freeze. I'm going to transfer both of our warriors across you. There we go. Alright, and you can now start work on a mountain pass. Here. Okay, both of them can start exploring. They can kill any barbarians we come across. I'm hoping we can make our way out of this small section without the Meier completely cutting us off. The computer likes to send its people way out in the middle of nowhere. And so there's a chance that this city is isolated. This Mayan city right here. Whether it is or not, though, I can't afford to wait. Because there's... Oh, there's warrior code. There's also a possibility that that's their whole civilization right over here, and they're going to quickly take any remaining squares. Which they will. Alright. Throw up a granary. Get a barracks in here. So, you might have noticed, my main city, my capital, even when it has proper food and everything, cannot move past a 6 population. It turns yellow and it gets dots. That's because it doesn't have fresh water, so it can't grow that far. The only way to get fresh water, without being next to a river or a natural lake, is to build an aqueduct. And the only way we can build that aqueduct is if we get to construction. So that's our next main thing that we're going for. Mysticism unlocks the Oracle, which doubles the effect of all temples, which is handy. Super good, actually. Ironworking reveals iron, a critical resource. And the sooner I can see it, the sooner I can, jump on it and keep anyone else from getting it. I should probably get a worker up there, now that I think about it. I didn't put the scout on the continent either. I'm flopping this. Okay, jump out. Alright, we have ironworking. Get mysticism so I can... Someone's probably going to get the Oracle before I have a chance to, but we can try. Walls double the defense of your city, but the moment that you get 7 units, it becomes ineffective, so I'm not going to start building those right away. That guy is trying to travel. Oh, there's iron right there. Not on my mainland, but that's awesome. I don't see any horses anywhere, which isn't ideal. Okay, we can start exploring, seeing what's out here. Let's get a harbor up. Second Kadesh gets that temple going. Okay. Settler. Right. Now we can get a harbor up. And then I can properly get some stuff out here. Cultural expansion should enable us to work on that grassland, which will allow for better expansion. This is all hills. Hills produce a little food, enough to sustain, as do forests, but not enough to grow. Which means I might deploy my worker to chop down this forest over here in the grasslands. Okay, go for construction now. I keep doing that. Okay, get to the iron first. There's horses. So I need to get some people out there to secure that too. You keep working on settlers. I'm going to put my capital, which has the best production so far, on building more important things. Well, not really more important. Gotta say, building settlers is pretty freaking important. Dang it, they got the horses. Okay, I might have to try and expand down here. I put a city right on this hill, enable it to get whales and some of the surrounding stuff. I think that'd be handy. Spearman. Alright, I'm gonna put a couple more workers over there. Yeah, people could say what they want about the Hittites. We're gonna be an empire like the world's never seen. Okay, that's a huge deal. Wait a minute. Not the Great Lighthouse, although that is too. We need to get to these furs immediately. Beeline it. That's a luxury. If we can get that luxury, we can make our people super happy. Okay, so he wants to give us horseback riding in exchange for alphabet and 80 gold. This? No? Okay, then get away from me. I can get horseback riding if I really want it. People like to try and trade stuff, but the computer always has raw deals in mind. Okay. You start working on a settler. And you go to galley. I need a second galley over here. And my capital's a little preoccupied. Okay, they're here. Wake them up. This is right next to a river and grassland and fish. This will be good. Let's settle before someone else does. There we go. Now they have whales. Both of those cities can expand a little further. Since he has a harbor now, he can work the water to get his food. Although it does cut into production. Okay, I might be able to find a more ideal spot if I had time, but I need to secure these things while I have a chance. Let's get a harbor up and running immediately. If anyone does have any questions about basic functions of this game, feel free to let me know. Alright, the Mayans have finished the pyramids. Yeah, even if I had tried, I would never have gotten there before them, and it wouldn't have mattered if I did. This way, since Maya's the closest, they're the ones who I'll probably go to war with first, when the time comes to go to war. I need to get a city here before they do, that way I can link everything up. This is probably for the best. Can I hurry you? It'll kill someone if I do it. It's that important. Get out my whip. I don't want to have to, but honestly, we're in a desperate situation. So just get the job done. Okay. Galley. Yeah, so go back to building spearmen and maybe not settlers. I'm not sure yet. Build some more workers. Okay, we have a harbor, so we can now connect up, which is ideal. Okay, get over here as fast as possible. So now, that'll be done here pretty soon. Go build a road onto the game so that they can benefit from that, and then I'm going to have to start building mines so that I can... There we go, we have iron. Okay, now we can build swordsmen, a better version of warriors. And that also unlocks more options in the future. Okay, worker, hop off. Spearman, wake up. Get over here. Jump in. Mayans haven't settled there yet, right? I can't keep a super close eye on them. So this is the Aztecs up here, the Mayans over here. It's weird that the Mayans are with the Hittites. Or that all the American Indian tribes are just showing up around the Hittite territories, but whatever. Okay. My plan still stands. Well, I think I might put them on this hill instead of the farthest one. Give everyone a little more room to breathe. But this should work. And then I can get one more settler up on my little island that I've seized. And I think that'll have to be it as far as my settlers go for a little while. Okay, so now fall back up here. All these grasslands need to be roaded up and mined so that we can maximize what we get out of them. Yeah, if I put a city here, I think that'd be good. Actually, go on to the incense. So incense, there's a luxury. And once I connect that up, that'll produce happiness in every city that's got it, which will be everyone because of my harbors. Alright. Workers. Yeah, we're gonna need a couple more. Not a ton, honestly. We get work done pretty quickly. But you can never have too many workers. There we go. Okay, so we have a connected land. Maya will tell us to get out of their territory if I start walking through, but I think I can make it. It's only one turn on the edges of their territory, so they can't kick me out definitively right out the bat. I'll just wait here for now. Yeah, galleys are not very good as far as anything goes, but they're really the only option in the Ancient Age. Yeah, we'll move our troops out. Just, you know, calm down. Cool your jets. And then, honestly, I should probably start building swordsmen. Because I'm going to need a military. I can't remain cooped up like this. We're going to have to mass together and hit them before they get too strong. Most of their places have one citizen. When you take a city, it reduces its citizen by one, which means these places will be wiped out, if they don't have 2 people at least. I'd prefer that doesn't happen. I'd much rather take cities than destroy them. That means I should probably have any remaining cities available, building more people. And I also have to be sure that I can take them out before I start that war. Okay, the deer are good resources, so build mines on them. Let's get another person out there. Okay, getting a Kadesh. Man, this got stressful quickly. I did not expect to be in such a terrible spot. There we go. Okay, 2 more turns, they'll be ready. You're building the harbor very, very slowly. But you don't have much to work with. And because he's so far away and disconnected, there's a lot more waste in his city, which I think takes out a shield. Yeah, the red there means that's not even being used. That's going to nothing, because he's so far away. Until I can get either a harbor or a road connecting him to someone that does have a harbor. And the purpose for that is connection to the palace. The more connected someone is to my palace, and the closer they are in proximity, the more work they can get, or the more work they do honestly, basically. Oh right, since this is our city, we can now travel right through the island. I always forget about that. This is a canal. That also means I can go straight up. I could put a city up here. I probably should do that. Hold on. Go to waste 2 shields. Because the swordsman takes more to produce than a spearman. But the settler doesn't. Okay, start building the roads out. I can upgrade him to a swordsman, just spending a little gold. Since I have the resources for it and a barracks in the territory, I can do that. Alright, you guys work on a temple. We'll get a road connection to them soon enough. Alright, now we got a worker. Let's connect up these furs. Alright, we have incense. Horseback riding for writing. Well, that doesn't seem like a fair trade, honestly. Give me polytheism too. This'll deal we expect. There we go. That's a good trade. I get 2 techs for 1. Writing is a big-time tech, so it makes sense that it'd be worth that much. Okay, back to swordsman. The Temple of Artemis, so I can now build that because I just got polytheism. It puts a temple in every city on the same continent as itself. My problem with it is that it eventually goes obsolete, as some wonders do, and it loses its special effects. It's just there for culture and money at that point. And it removes every temple that it's placed in your empire. I'm not going to tolerate that, so I don't tolerate that. Okay, I can build a road to this city, chop down the forests, and open up some grassland. He still only has 2 hit points, but he's a little stronger. For the time being, I think I'm going to keep a galley here. You never know when you might need some hasty ship support. Okay, so if I put a city there, I might be able to get one here, potentially. And frankly, this area is not completely taken, so I can spread further downward, possibly. Yeah, we haven't lost all territory. Alright, get us... My spearmen aren't over here yet. Alright, I'll use my garrison to do it because another spearman will be in the city in a moment. I'm just going to get him up here. That way I can get a city down before someone's territory covers it. Alright. Speaking of, that is a settler right there. A Mayan one, who I think now we've completely stopped whatever plan he had, because I'm going to throw up a city, and this territory, he won't be able to settle in it. Getting a road here is going to be tricky. I'm going to need to culturally overtake this spot right here in order to build a road through. I think I can pull it off, though. Okay. We now have construction, so this opens it up a little bit. Monarchy is a new system of government, and it gives us a great wonder that makes 3 unhappy citizens content in its city, 1 unhappy citizen content in all others. When you have too many unhappy people, your city goes into rebellion and it doesn't do anything, so you don't want that to happen. Currency lets us build marketplaces, which cuts down taxes on every city improvement, so you make more money just overall, and it multiplies how good luxuries are based on how many you have. So that's handy. Philosophy. First civilization to research this tech is awarded a free tech. Alright, well that's a cheap one. It's only 4 turns. Get that done. Its wonder is kind of garbage. It's a pretty minor one, but it is... I mean, a free tech's a free tech. Alright, we can now build aqueducts. And, yeah, well, frankly, get granary first. We need granaries. I'm not used to having to build granaries. Normally I have the pyramids by this point. This game is far from my normal playthrough, though. Oh, my culture's good enough. I overtook him immediately. Awesome. Okay, and now I have furs, so let's see if I can try to connect this up via roads. Alright, we should have the oracle now. I don't know if someone else has gotten philosophy. This might be a useless exercise, but if they haven't, I'm going to. The Great Wall. Wall in each city of the continent on which it's built. Doubles combat value versus barbarians, which is nice. I don't know. Are we... I think we're militaristic, aren't we? I can also build colosseums, which are basically just temple too. 2 content faces makes 2 unhappy citizens content and produces culture per turn. So it's basically just another version of a temple, but it stacks, so we will be getting it. First, though, we need aqueducts so that we can keep growing. Yeah, I haven't focused on anything military-wise, because there's no real point to it at this moment. You can't really explore anything more. I'm gonna just pull him back. Okay, Maya's moving in. They're gonna start colonizing this. I need to try and get someone... I mean, it's all tundra. I'm not sure it's even worth it. I can investigate. I should probably set someone to actually, like, some ship to explore, but since we're so bound by all of this, I actually use my ships for once, which normally I don't really have to. Okay, someone at some point got off kilter and built a settler without a spearman. I'm not sure when that happened. I'm gonna try to right that wrong, though. Alright, just keep producing mines. When did I build them around my city? I don't even remember doing that. My people are just that productive. I should check if we're militaristic. Let's see. You always want to build a wonder if you really can. Is it under Great Wall? Yes, it is. Great Wall. Because they also produce, they eventually become tourist attractions, and they start producing commerce over time. And they also produce culture. So you want them, one way or another. But if they can trigger golden ages, they're certainly worth it. Expansionist, commercial. Okay, so I'm not militaristic. I don't specifically need those. But I would be open to getting them, if possible. Alright, I'm going to set you to explore. Yeah, we can reach more of the water than anyone else. Monarchy for map making and money. Are you nuts? No, I'm not taking that. Alright. So that should give us a second free technology, which was literature. Literature lets us build libraries, also cultural hotspots, and they 50% more scientific research per city. So that's super handy. And the Great Library, civilization that builds it, gets 2 other technologies that are known by other civilizations for free. And of course it's a great wonder, so you want it anyway. So that's super handy. Code of laws, right, courthouses let us knock down corruption in cities, so we do want those, especially because we're going to be over water. And I want the Republic because it's a better form of government in every way, and we'll get to that eventually. Okay, we're rapidly moving through the Ancient Age, which is pretty normal. Oh, Hipparchus. I see. This is a scientific leader. I did not expect to get one so quickly. So he can hurry my science, he can hurry a city production, but you're going to stay here for now until I figure out what to do with you. They start chopping down that. Maybe I shouldn't have him chopping down a tree. No, you know what? Getting road systems up and running is more important. We'll have you do that eventually, but not right now. I'm getting another spearman over here, and I need to move. Okay, it's possible... No, it looks like... Yeah, the Aztecs probably have this whole coast locked down tight. I could get a city here. Getting one in here. No, I can probably get one in here. At least one somewhere before the Mayans do. So I should do that. You want to have some inland cities. They help you cover a lot of territory. Okay, aqueduct. For anyone who might be confused on why my galley could make it through ocean squares, which should be lethal, if you park in an ocean square, you have a very high probability of losing your ship the next turn after it's done parking. But since I didn't park in it, we just passed through it, it's safe. We're safe in sea, since we have the Great Lighthouse, and we're always safe in coast. No one else is safe in sea squares. That's just us. Which is pretty cool. Okay, all of you... Yeah, just go there. That's a good spot. Alright, I'm going to try to put a road through the center of the snow. Snowy areas aren't very good. But, you know, you work with the hands that you're dealt. Huh. Let's build a library. 50% increased science from my main city is a big deal. Okay, now you can work on an aqueduct. I think our expansion has probably hit its apex. I might be able to get one more city in if I really tried, but I'm not sure how much good it would do me. I'm curious, if those guys are heading down here, then we might be fine. They are. I could try to tell them to get out, but they're not going to get out. Well, next turn they are anyway. It doesn't matter what I tell them. And so there's no point in actually raising a fuss about it. Okay, we finally have a harbor. That's huge. Okay, got a temple. This place will be connected up soon enough. Let's get a barracks going in it. Okay, yes, get the Republic. So what are we looking at here? He's losing one shield due to corruption. That'd probably... Right, I need to build wonders. Hold on. I have not been really paying attention to those because I have been focusing on so much other stuff at the same time. Build a great library. We need that one. Mausoleum of Mazalos, it's cheap, it's easy, but it doesn't do a whole lot. 3 unhappy citizens content in its city. And then, of course, it's a tourist attraction. It's got the basic wonder production thingies, but it's not a huge deal. It's pretty minor. It just helps out its one city quite a bit. Temple of Artemis, I don't want. Great Wall, I'm indifferent towards. We need the Great Library. You build a library. Yeah, more roads is always better. I'm going to mine whatever grasslands we have once I've finished that little road network I'm setting up there. And these jerks are going to seal off this whole section of water. At least I got it explored before they did. Okay, let's get some aqueducts set up. There we go. I actually have a road connecting me with Meier now. So if I feel like trading with them, I am able to. Okay, build a temple. Temples not only let you culturally combat your enemies, they're also pretty important for fending off their culture. So when their culture hits you, it doesn't just seize your city immediately. Okay, yeah, they're on the coast. Doesn't matter. I think we're pretty decent sized for this stage in the game. I could definitely be larger if I wasn't confined to an island. But I'm actually surprised how well the civilization adapted to it. We were really close to really bad stuff there. Who's Yellow? Have I contacted Yellow at all? No, that's Egypt. Yeah, I've contacted them. Alright, let's get a barracks. Awesome. Connecting up our empire at last. I pay no attention to the type of government as far as how it's run. I will always be the despot who just gets to give orders and things happen, no matter what else anyone else wants. Yeah, get a courthouse. That extra shield can come in handy. Okay, let's put a road here. We can mine it. And now my scout has just hit jungle, which is remarkably worse than forest. It's only one food. That's it. Takes forever for workers to chop away. Produces nothing when you do chop it away. Like, it doesn't even give you shields like a forest does when you chop it down. And it diseases people. It diseases your cities. When they work through it, their workers will start dying. And any units who park in them for long enough will contract disease and die. Eventually I clear them all out, but there are certain resources that spawn in jungles way late in the game, so you want to leave some on the map, because you'll need them eventually. Alright, I'm going to try to cultivate somewhat good relations with the Mayans. You know, I'm not going to keep yelling at them. I'm not going to cultivate it too hard. Once the time comes, you know, it's war and they're all going to die, but that might be a while off. I'm not sure. I don't have much of a military right now, and it's not like we're mobilized or anything like that. Oh wow, you're building a road for me. That's nice. Okay, someone else has got the Great Wall, so that's off the list. Okay, we came across someone purple. Can't see who it is. I'm gonna have to rely on them contacting us or one of their units stepping out. Okay, let's build a granary. Build a mine. Right, and then he's just gonna start exploring down the coast. Given the stage of the game, he's probably got more reach and vision than anyone else. You know, let's build it. Tarsus is extremely productive. Let's keep it that way. That'll keep it, basically, it'll keep it from ever revolting, is what that will do. At least as long as it doesn't go obsolete. And I don't know that it does, because I never build it. Ooh, that's a barbarian. There was a barbarian ship right here. We haven't seen much in the way of barbarians this game. In fact, that's, I think, the first one that we've spotted, and he's probably going to get wiped out pretty soon. Alright, let's get monarchy. Okay, this is going to throw everything into chaos, so we want a change in government. Shall we encourage a revolution? Yes. So this puts us into anarchy. No one's producing anything. Workers are working at like 1/3 the speed they should. 3 turns, will it be under control, and I can set us on something new, which will be a republic. Republic will make our people work faster. It'll let us rush things with money instead of slavery, so we don't lose citizens when we want things done faster. It does make war weariness worse, but it improves production in basically every way. And so we want it. He's stuck. He can't get out. I guess he could just go marching through territories until someone tells him to leave. It's not like he's a threat. But they'll kick him out anyway. Yeah, we'll get out of your territory. Republic. There we go. Alright, that gives us more money as well. That's ivory, which is a luxury, but for, where is it? Mathematics. The statue of Zeus, it's the only thing in the entire game that takes a luxury to build, and it takes ivory. So generally only 1 or 2 civilizations a game ever have the opportunity to build that thing. It's not super useful, but it's a wonder, and so it looks like the Aztecs are going to be the ones to get it this game. Okay, in truth, Egypt, I am trying to get out of your lands. Let's see, Colosseum. I think I'm closing in on the time I'll stop. I'll try to finish up the Ancient Age. I don't intend to go an age every turn. As you get more stuff, the game gets the turns get exponentially longer. Alright. Hanging. Wow. Okay, all 3 of those just got knocked out in 1 turn. Change this. Colosseum. Yeah, there are games where I'm on top of the wonders and I get all of them. Then there are games like this one, where you just have to cut your losses and make some choices. There's the statue of Zeus. I didn't see who built it. Not that it matters. Okay, I don't have a temple yet. Once I get temples up, we'll probably push them out of those fur spaces and take them. That'll leave them with just 1. Which is the ideal scenario. And probably... Oh, that's also an Egyptian city. I think it just became an Egyptian city. But the Egyptians don't seem to be kicking me out anymore. They must have decided I'm not a problem. I might eventually just execute that guy, because he's going to be useless and just kind of stuck out there. Alright, so we have monarchy. No, we don't want monarchy. It has its advantages. It's kind of like Republic, but it's a little less economy-based, more military-based, but it does let you rush things with money. But I'm good with Republic. How do you only have 2 population? Do you really not have anything? That still doesn't help you grow. And man, there's a lot of corruption on it. Okay, well, since we have a small island, Oh, there's silks. That's another luxury. I don't have any horses, and that is a problem. But I can see where they are. Oh. Yeah, I forgot this. I always forget this is even a thing. People will just expand your place when they're really happy. Normally it happens way earlier in the game. Well, we haven't been the happiest civilization. Is that Rome? That's Rome. Rome will probably be interested in talking to me. Oh, why? Why are people unhappy? It's too crowded, it's too big. Whatever. Ignore them. The computer doesn't prioritize non-essential technologies, except for governments. It does like extra governments. So it'll get monarchy, but it doesn't care about literature until way later. So no one's getting the Great Library before me, as long as everything goes to plan. Okay, yeah, you guys build courthouses. It's funny that they're on the exact same schedule. How long do you have? 3 more turns? Yeah. I could put a road here for them. Yeah, why not? That'll make it more convenient for me, too, whenever war swings around. There's iron there. Yeah, basically, to fix... Oh, what? No. Basically, to fix this order, you just have to take someone off of working and turn them into an entertainer. This makes an extra happy face, gets rid of some of the unhappiness, just enough. Like, basically, if your unhappy laborers outnumber your happy laborers, you go into disorder. When your happy laborers, I think, outnumber everything else, including content, then you go into celebration, and everything becomes more productive. But that can be hard to pull off. No point telling Aztecs to get out. Okay, so we've just left the Ancient Age. You can tell an attack is essential or not because of the little cross-out mark. Only 3 of them in the Ancient Age are. As you go further into the game, they become usually a little more common. None of them are in the Modern Age because it doesn't matter at that point. Alright. Gonna want feudalism first. It's a big deal. It lets us get pikemen, which are a better defensive unit that takes iron. Medieval infantry, which is a better version of a swordsman, takes iron. That's for the Swiss. And Sun Tzu's Art of War, which puts a barracks in every city on the same continent. If possible, I would want that on the main continent so far, so that then everything I take, every city I take from an enemy, there we go. Now we're expanding. Largest nations, the Great Hittites. I'm the 2nd largest, right behind the Chinese. I don't know where they are, but the Mayans aren't even on the list. That's probably not in terms of cities, it's in terms of actual people. But judging by what I'm seeing here, if I built up a large military force, I could make a couple of swift, definitive strikes and push the Mayans back. I could seize the horses, which would be huge, take furs away from them, which would hurt them in the long run. But the computer can mobilize quickly, especially this early. I'll want medieval infantry if I'm going to do anything like that, before I make those kinds of moves. Okay, well, retreat back here to the main island. You can start doing real work. Either way, scientifically, I'm far ahead of everyone else. I've managed to get that. There we go. He can actually take that. We should be using that space. Okay, I don't know how long this has been going on, but I'm not keeping these at strictly any point. So now we're in... You don't have a barracks yet. Go over here, you have a barracks. You can upgrade him. I don't have, I don't remember what I was about to say. I don't know. I don't have a strict way that I'm planning on doing all of these exactly. I'm just sort of going with it. I've never done a playthrough like this before, so it's definitely going to be interesting. So from what I'm seeing here, the Mayans are going to be our first main rival. They have a lot of very fertile land, a lot of great stuff, and I'm stuck over here without very much. So I'm going to have to start pumping out workers and swordsmen and ships and sailing across. But I want to get most of my city's basic production stuff done first. Now, since I'm scientifically ahead of everyone so far, which is usually how I want my games to go, well, it's always how I want my games to go. It's usually how they do go. It isn't always how they go, though. Since I seem to be multiple techs ahead of pretty much everyone, let's see. Yeah, I'm far ahead of them. This gives me a huge degree of breathing room. So once I get feudalism, I'm immediately probably going to switch Kadesh, because I think this is my most productive city over... well... Okay, it's productive if it actually works its production. Hold on. If I put it on all shields, that cuts its time down significantly. I need to get a mine there. That would expand it. At the moment, so you're working that. So if I do this, pull you off of there and you onto there. Yeah, so that's even more productive. More money from the luxury, more resources from the resource. And that, it caps it at 6, but it does vastly improve its production, which is probably what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to be nice and connect that up, but I'm eventually going to take it anyway, so it won't matter. And I'm going to need my units to be stronger for any incoming warfare, so having pikemen instead of spearmen would be a pretty huge deal. Okay, I'm going to go one more turn. I've got a lot of money, so I can build embassies in the espionage section in people's capital cities. This lets me, I can trade resources and luxuries with people that I have connections with. And by connections, I mean a road or a dock kind of connection. It also reveals the location of their capital, and it allows me to investigate their capital cities if I want to, for the limited value that that gives. But I try to do it to everyone. It's just another thing that you can get done, so why wouldn't you get it done? And if I look at the victory point screen to see where we are right now, okay, I am in the lead. Meier is pretty high up there, so yeah, they're going to be a handful. As far as power goes, America and Meier are pretty much the two biggest aside from me. I have all this power and I don't even have any main military like attack units, so that's pretty helpful. Culturally, I'm decimating everyone. Mayans are getting up there, so yeah, I need to take them out early. They're looking to be major rivals already. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end this one here then. I'm really hoping this has been a successful recording. If it hasn't, I'm going to lose my mind. But it shouldn't have any problems. Alright, that's going to be it for this one then. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.